3, 2, 1. We are live.
We are ready for action.
Another Thursday
Another
evening
installment of Thursday with Horses
chats, and we are wearing matching glasses tonight. I guess we're getting old and blind, both of us. Anyways, on the list for tonight, we are going to be talking about groundwork, building confidence in the saddle. We're going to be talking about a clinic that we wrote in this week.
Well, that was good.
You're
The confidence in the saddle the confidence is so important. This thing is so hard. And then if you're second guessing yourself that you didn't do the right thing, or you're a little afraid, so then you're hesitant, neither one of those situations is ever going to come out well. So
we're going to give you some tips to feel confident. We're also going to be talking about, what else is on my list? Clinic. Oh, this weekend we are going down to Temecula to watch the Carl Hester Masterclass.
That's going to be great. We got a house and people. And
yeah, we have a bunch of
food.
People flying in from out of town. Fingers crossed for all of you traveling with the
government stoppage and the
yes,
and the 10% less flights out of whatever airports.
Yeah, that will be interesting. So hopefully everyone gets here and goes home. But Carl Hester is definitely, I think, one of the best riders.
And I love his commentary when he does the horse shows.
Yeah.
He's
very, like, you can tell he's a horse person because he's kind of like lighthearted and like funny about how
serious it is. Yeah.
And but I also love how he's very empathetic, like with the horse and the rider, like understanding like what's happening and what they're feeling, but also like it should be this way. So there's a great lineup of horses this weekend, and the weather should be good.
Weather's going to be excellent,
which is awesome. We'll definitely be taking some notes. So maybe next Thursday we'll have some Carl Hester takeaways for all of you. Other announcements is that we did the Groundwork webinar on Sunday, which was awesome. We had like almost 1,000 people live, which was very cool.
That's awesome. That is impressive.
Yes. So thank you if you're able to come live. And then we have our Groundwork Essentials course is on sale this week for $100 off. I know a lot of you have already signed up. But Groundwork is something that's very near and dear to my heart. And Herman is
I did it today.
Coming over to the dark side. But for me, what got me into Groundwork is my horse Geronimo. And he's a warm blood that I got when I was 14. Basically, the short story is he started rearing and we went to a cowboy. And at the time I was like so sad and upset because I wasn't riding dressage, but I learned how to communicate with the horses on the ground and how to like really read the horses and understand what they're thinking and what they're feeling and how to get them to soften and bend and put their head down and like all those things that are so important.
For sure. And they get with you that way, and then they feel safe because the confidence and you're in charge and you're not giving mixed messages or the wrong messages and scaring your horse and asking it to do something that it's not ready to do, because you have to be able to read the tea leaves.
And then once you can do that on the ground, you have such a better chance of being able to ride them and communicate with them when you're on their back. So I think that's one thing that's really cool about Groundwork. When I first moved to California, I had like all young horses, all problem horses, all the horses that no one else could ride. So I did a lot of groundwork. Oh yes, that was like love at first sight. Tell them the love at first sight story.
So
it involves groundwork.
I'm at this barn and I'm at this barn, and Amelia then comes to this barn, and she's going to start working the young horses for the owner of the facility. And so I meet her, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, great, yes, lovely to meet you."
There'd been a history of, I think, some other bad trainers coming through.
She didn't like to pay very well, and so people would come and go a lot. And I was like, "Okay, here's the next new one. Great, fabulous." And then I was watching.
So it wasn't love at first sight.
No, not at first sight. It was 2 weeks later.
Love at first sight of groundwork.
Love at first sight of groundwork. So then I see Amelia in the bullpen, and she's working horses and doing things, and she knows what she's doing. And so then she became much more interesting to me. I had respect, and that was a long time ago, and the rest is history.
So maybe your groundwork skills will not only impress your horse, but they could also
Impress a future husband.
You never know what those skills might bring along. So there you go. Groundwork has brought many great things.
And then we took those horses and we did the in-hand classes.
Oh yeah,
remember?
And you taught me how to run the horses in hand.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah, we did all that stuff with those horses.
Yeah.
So that's how we met.
But there's a few things on the ground that I always like to check out before I get on a horse. And one of those is that they can put their head down. I think that's a really important one. There was this great lecture that we listened to from an animal behaviorist named Chris Irwin. And he said that the frame of the body, like your horse's frame, determines their frame of mind. What that means is that their head up and their back is hollow. What does that create?
We got to go.
Tension, anxiety. But head down means relaxation.
I can eat, right? The head up, back hollow, that is, they're coming to get me, we're leaving. Round, neck down, I can eat hay and drink water because I'm fairly relaxed.
Yes. So therefore, on the ground, the more that we can help our horses to lower their head, the more that we can help our horses relax and start to trust us and not feel like they need to be all the time in fight or flight mode, which is usually not a good thing if your horse goes into that mode.
And then by the by, as you talk about fight or flight, if you're riding your horse and you remove the option of flight, and I see that a lot. People grab both reins and be here, stop doing that, behave. So now you have removed flight as an option for the horse, and you've only given it fight, which I don't know if you've seen the size of a horse and the size of you. You don't want to fight with that.
Or they run away because you can't hold them back. Like,
right,
you're not going to
make them. So then you become part of the problem too. You grab both reins and stop doing that. Now the horse thinks, okay, I've got to get away from you as well.
So that is where the inside rein to inside hind, or drifting the hindquarters, comes in, which is something that I talked about during the webinar and also that I teach in the groundwork course. Because I always learned when I was on those problem horses and the young horses, if you can bend and turn your horse, then you can let the energy out, but in a safe and controlled way.
Right, because you've got to let some steam out of the pot. You can't, you can't, it's a pressure cooker. If you strap it down, something's got to give. So you've got to find a way to let the steam out of the pot, keep everything safe, but let it go.
Yes. So Claudia says, will this course help me with a 1.5-year-old filly? Yes, absolutely. So in the Groundwork Essentials course, I have me working with some yearlings. I have me working with a 2-year-old. I have me doing groundwork with some young horses. And I also have a bunch of problem solving stuff like trailer loading, clipping, standing in the cross ties, like just everything that you need to do with your horses on the ground. Because the truth is that we spend the majority of our time with our horses on the ground. And it's just nicer to be around them when they are like responsive and aware and relaxed. It's just a lot nicer
for them and us.
Yeah.
And safer too. And so, the doing the work with the yearlings is fine.
Yeah. You don't want to overdo it with a young horse because you don't want to sour them. Like, you don't want to get them out and do
working them. You're
right.
Just...
But you need to be able to handle them, like pick up their feet, put their head down, that they need, if they scare, that they need to bend and turn and face you, all those little things. And that makes it so much easier for when they do get bigger and when you are ready to ride them, because that's kind of the goal. So that's our spiel on groundwork. The course is $100 off if you sign up before Sunday. There's an extra discount if you're in strides. We are doing video review sessions with the groundwork course, which is great. So that way you can take a little video, send us a clip, and get some feedback. Joellen's going to be helping me with those video review sessions, which will be awesome. Other things on my list, we both got to ride in a clinic this week, which was great. Monday and Tuesday, Albrecht was here. He's like your original German coach, right?
Yeah, I rode with him for I think 12 years, and then with Christina, and then Christina has sort of faded away, and now he's come back. So
interesting how that works.
The universe is taking care of me.
So, what were your big takeaways from your lesson?
To ride her in a more correct frame and not worry so much about making it pretty. Like she's down, she's round, she's giving, but she's too low. And so then the hind legs are having trouble coming up. So I've got to get in a more level balance so that she can really use herself and come through her body.
Yeah, because sometimes she has such a powerful hind end that she curls, like she goes a little bit too low.
Yes.
And then she can't balance when she's too low, but she can't balance when she's too high. That's kind of like either she goes too low or too high.
It's not, I can't let that nose run away like it does. I still have to keep her in and round, but in a more level balance and not so deep, and making sure that I don't have the third vertebrae broke, that the pole's still, I mean, she's not elevated in that way, but the neck is coming up to the pole, and I don't have the break at the third vertebrae, because then she's curled on the forehand, and then the hind legs can't come through.
I was mostly happy because he said almost all the same things that I've been telling you.
That's true.
Which is nice, because sometimes we try really hard to help each other with our horses.
But sometimes we think we know what we're doing.
Mostly we are good and we like keep our mouth quiet and our mind right. But then it's always nice to get a lesson, like an outside lesson. And it's also nice, like, because I got to watch and see, okay, like that's what he said a little bit differently there. And it's just everyone has a little bit of a different opinion about things, but it's still on the same path. But I think your horse is looking good. She's looking really good, which is exciting because she's had some health issues that have been frustrating.
We've had her, what, almost a year now?
Maybe.
She got here in February, and we've been able to ride her like 4 months.
Yeah. Because she keeps getting these like wounds that won't heal, and then they like blow up. And anyways, but she's a lovely horse, and I'm excited for her and looking forward to how she develops and all of that. But she's definitely.
And I was really excited that I fixed my double bounce.
Oh yeah, tell them about your posting issues. See, even Herman struggles with posting.
So I was well, he called it double bouncing, but I had a lesson. Well, and Amelia's mentioned the tone too, but then
okay, so this is like the story of our life, right? You're like kind of soft and floppy, and I'm all like tense and high strung. Yeah. So when you ride and you post the trot, sometimes you're a little floppy,
a little soft. And so I rode in a clinic. The lady was trying to get her USDF certified to Grand Prix level training certificate. And so her name is Jen Pruitt. She's from Ohio. And so she mentioned I was on somebody's borrowed Grand Prix horse, whatever about all that. But she had mentioned it too. But I had heard Amelia had said the tone, and then Albrecht had said I was double bouncing. And she just broke it down. She stopped me, moved my leg, talked about the tone. And then during the lesson, she was talking about squeezing my leg, sitting taller. And she really gave me the what to do with my body. And so then I rode with Albrecht, and he was like, "Oh, your seat's better." And I was like, "Oh, thank Jesus."
Yeah. But especially with your mare, since she doesn't have very good balance and she's really hot, so she starts like moving really big. And I think sometimes you want to be soft, but she actually needs.
So she's flinging me out, and so I'm following her. I'm all soft, and so it's just getting flung out onto the forehand.
And then she starts to she needs you to have tone to organize her.
Yeah. And so that's really helping get her more balanced and on all 4 legs.
It's always hard though. It takes a year to get to really know a horse and understand a horse. And that's why, the word dressage, it means training, right? It's not just buying. It's not, it's really developing that partnership and figuring out, okay, like this is what my horse needs here. This is how I can help my horse, because they are all a little bit different. So I rode Mick with Albrecht, which was great and lots of fun. Mick, I hope you all have been enjoying this series. On YouTube, we've been doing weekly Saturday videos with Mick, which has been fun. His changes are definitely coming along, which is cool. It's been a challenge to teach him the flying changes because he has like this giant canter and then he gets
and he has a way of doing it.
Yeah,
he has an
takes
idea
over
of how the change should be. So he knows you're asking for the change and he goes, I do it like this.
Yeah, he doesn't always listen and wait.
Like, this is how I do it. And there's just these limbs going everywhere.
Yeah. But it's all like back to the basics. Like we were really working on, so when I start to collect the canter, is that I want to keep the same energy and volume in the canter, but make the stride smaller and not a stopping feel in the collection. And so he had me do an exercise that I've taught some of you before, which I love, which is 5 forward, 5 collect, 5 forward, 5 collect. And that rhythm of like, go for 5, half halt, go for 5, half halt for 5, go. It really helps to develop that. And then also in the canter to walk transitions, Mick isn't quite strong enough behind yet. And so he goes like canter, flatten, like land in the walk. Instead of what they should do in the canter walk is they should go collect, energy, and then soft landing into the walk so that they really keep the activity behind and the jump in the canter until they go to the walk. So we focused a lot on that, and that was really helpful. And then just the straightness, because remember how Herman's been helping me a lot with Mick and we've been doing a lot of Ronbear.
Yeah.
And then Albrecht was saying that it was almost too much Ronbear because he was starting to push his hips to the outside. Remember on the right leg canter?
Yes.
So then you have to shift to like a little baby haunches in feeling. And that's what's so hard about what we do is like you do too much of one thing and then
the hallway narrows. I mean, that's how it goes. You go way over here, you go way over here, and then it tidies up.
But it's really fun. Sometimes I wish that I could just go back to being a student and having lessons every day.
It is so nice not to have an answer and know anything. And you just sit up there and go, I don't know what to do. Tell me. I love my lessons. Like, I don't know. Just tell me.
But it's also, I think, important for all of us to have a balance where you have lessons, but you also ride alone. Because when you ride alone, you have to take more responsibility and you have to problem solve and feel it yourself. And it's more when you go in the show ring, right? You don't have.
You're on your own. You're doing it.
Yeah. So you really have to develop both skills. You have to be a good student where you can trust and listen and try to do exactly what they're telling you. And one thing that's so funny about Albrecht is he is pretty blunt. Like he doesn't really, like he just says it how it is. He doesn't like tell you it's good if it's not good.
But he's not sugarcoating anything.
And if you don't do what he says, there will be some yelling.
Oh, yeah.
Like he makes you do what you're told to do.
When he says, I said go forward. I said go forward.
So maybe that's how he gives you confidence, is he makes you more scared of
him than the horse.
Yes. So here's a story for you. I rode my thoroughbred Grand Prix horse Trumpet with Albrecht when he was young. And that horse was so tense and so explosive. And he did not like Albrecht. And I went in there and Albrecht used to do this thing where he'd like whack the table, like right when you walked by, and Trump like about launched me and went like running to the other side of the arena. It was very bad. So anyways, good times at the clinic. All right. We have a few questions from our Strides student. In Strides, if you're in Strides, we're doing a hot horse versus laid back horse contest this month. Let me know.
And by horse, you actually mean a hot horse, not a spooky thing.
Like forward.
Yeah, a forward horse.
Yeah. So is your horse
like
more forward, more hot, or more laid back and chill?
Because a lot of times when people write ads for horses for sale, they use hot as a euphemism for spooky. And hot is a good thing. Spooky is not. But
they often come together. Hand in hand.
Well, my horse is hot, but she's not spooky.
Okay, so Herman's on team hot horse. I'm on team laid back horse with Mick.
Yeah.
So let us know in the chat if you're on team hot horse or team laid back horse. And this is like the whole premise of strides is that this month is that you need skills to calm your hot horse down. You need skills to wake up your laid back horse. And then sometimes they'll switch personalities and then you got to go back to the middle. So you want to be the thermostat, not the thermometer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, okay. A few questions before we pack and have a lot to do before we leave tomorrow. Hazel is saying how to keep my horse active. He's great at snappy transitions off a light aid or even just voice, but then the energy dies and I don't want to keep nagging. Interesting. I would try counting. I think maybe like you're not going with that activity. And then also, so like you do your transition, walk, trot, and yours is going trot, 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 and your legs are off. The second that your horse slows a little down, say you're trotting at 5 miles an hour, your horse slows down to 4 miles an hour. You need to speed them up to like 7 miles an hour. So there's a little bit of a consequence. Make them go extra fast and then come back to your original speed. Do you agree?
Yep. I'm with you on that.
Oh, okay. Next question. Ooh, this is a little scary one. My laid back reining trained quarter horse fell at the canter last November. We were both injured, ready to move forward physically. Mentally, however, it's a challenge. He's been cleared for riding. We're cantering on the diagonal. Uncomfortable canter. I can feel my fear. I don't have the same feeling with other horses. I can hear Herman saying time and miles. But what is your suggestion to help get us in the time and miles with less stress? We're both enjoying the groundwork exercises.
That's it. I came off like 3 weeks ago. Not the one where I hurt my ankle, but the other one. I came off of Claire like 3 weeks ago. And every day I ride her now, and it gets a little bit better every day because I start to trust her more every day. So it's just that.
I definitely think so with horses that trip and fall, you really want to check them out from a vet perspective because there's often a reason that horses trip and fall. Like horses don't want to fall, right? They're prey animals. And like falling is like the most dangerous thing for them because then the lion or the predator is going to get them. So usually if your horse is falling, it's because either like there's something wrong with them. Like it could be their feet are too long, the footing's not good. There could be something neurological, like something in their neck can cause them to trip and fall. So you want to check out all those things first from a veterinary perspective. Then from a riding perspective, it could be that you weren't helping to balance your horse, right? If you're all like flopping around and the reins are long and your horse is on the forehand and you're not riding your horse in balance, that could cause them to trip more. So I would say really take your time with the walk and trot, do the groundwork exercises, get your horse cantering on the lunge line, maybe even with side reins, because if you can get your horse better balanced on their own without you on them first, then that's going to be helpful and definitely have them checked out. Herman had a horse fall with him. Well, we had this young horse in training. Is sad story. The horse was like 5 or 6.
Yeah, and he got
neurologic. He fell with me.
He fell with me first. He did somersault.
Oh yeah.
You got concussed after I came off.
Yeah.
And that's when they checked him out. And now he's retired.
Yeah. So Herman it was the weirdest thing too. Herman was riding him. One day you were cantering, right?
I was cantering him and he forgot to pick up a front foot. Like I felt the haunches come and I was waiting for the shoulders to come and the shoulders never came. And the foot stayed on the ground and I thought, I'm out of here.
And the weird thing with that horse, because he did the same thing to me and I got like a bad concussion. He didn't even try to catch himself. Like, you know how most horses, they'll like, or like you kind of catch your toe and then you like stutter to try to save it. This horse, it was just like lights out.
That front leg never came up and the haunches just came over and he somersaulted.
So this is a scary topic we shouldn't be talking about. But what happens with horses is that if there's compression in their neck. So that horse had compression in his spinal column.
And he couldn't feel his front feet.
So it wasn't like he was being bad. It was like he like literally just went numb mid-stride. So
but back to this question where he's been cleared for the riding. So you need to, right, just keep layering positive experience on top of positive experience. Your brain, not my brain, everybody's brain, it's designed to keep you safe. That's what it wants to do. So when we have traumatic experiences, like you come off, your brain wants you to remember that so you never do it again. That's what the brain's function is. And so when we have these bad things happen, our brain really makes that memory and says, okay, remember this so you never do it again because I want to keep you safe.
Yeah.
So
lots of groundwork.
Lots of groundwork, lots of simple things. And so that you just layer positive experience after positive experience. And so that starts to outweigh the brain's power when it made that real image, that impactful image of don't do this again. You slowly start to train your brain that isn't that important. These are more important. And that is time and miles.
And so much of confidence for all of us comes from just the repetition of riding consistently, seeing your horse consistently, doing the groundwork, really getting to know your horse, knowing what scares your horse, what helps your horse to relax. And the other thing about groundwork, when I was listening to the animal behaviorist, how did he say it? He was like, groundwork is a competition of who's the lead mare or something.
Yeah, something like that.
But it's kind of true. Like,
it's like the battle for supremacy.
Yeah, which is maybe not the best way to say it, but you need to be the leader so that your horse feels protected. Like it's so important they have boundaries, and so that the more clear your boundaries are, the more that your horse is like, well, I don't have to worry about anything else because she's going to keep me safe, and she has these really strong boundaries. And then that's what makes your horse feel safe.
And horses are hardwired to lead or follow. And mares more so, right? Mares run the herd. So within mares, that lead is even greater than it for sure in a gelding, right? A gelding really wants to be told what to do. It's like, this is what we're doing. And so if you're not there for a gelding, they have anxiety.
Yes.
Mares, on the other hand, you got to work that out, but they're all hardwired to lead or follow. So if you don't lead by default, they will lead, even if they don't want to. They will lead because you're not. So somebody has to.
All right, we're going to go pack, and we'll keep you updated on any tips that we learn from Carl Hester this weekend, because I'm super excited. We'll definitely bring our notebook and be taking notes so that we can bring back what we've learned.
Honey, I was right about something.
What were you right about?
So Barb says, well, it went away.
One trial learning, don't have to tell me twice.
Yeah, we can learn both good and bad with one experience. So, and she says, yeah, well, I'm a total chicken after I've been scared or hurt. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, happy evening. Happy Thursday. I don't know about you, but this time change, I feel like super tired this
Right, it's
week.
the middle of the night. It's at 2:00. You start feeling the sun go down, and it's like,
yeah. And then in the morning, it's like, I don't know. So, anyways, I feel a bit off this week. Next week will be better.
Yeah. Well, come January, and the